This is DW Business. I'm Kate Ferguson. Thanks for joining me. Facebook parent company Meta has launched a platform to compete with Twitter. It's called Threads and has already attracted millions of users. Many of those signing up are Twitter users who are unhappy with the direction the platform has taken under Elon Musk. The Threads app is directly linked to Instagram, enabling Meta to collate data like location, health and search history from both apps. It's being rolled out in more than 100 countries, but notably not in the EU, where privacy laws are more stringent. To talk more about this, let's bring in Mike Proulx from global market research group Forrester. Mike, have you joined Threads?
I did, as soon as it launched last night here in the States.
And how do you rate it compared to Twitter so far?
It is very Twitter-like. So anybody that has been using Twitter will find the interface very familiar. But one of the things that Threads has done really well is the onboarding process, especially those that haven't been using Twitter. Because it is linked to your Instagram account, you immediately are able to follow people that you follow on Instagram. And so this inherently made it go, dare I say, viral out into a wider community. And within 7 hours, they had over 10 million signups as a result.
OK, so they have the numbers behind them. But one of the many problems that Twitter had is that it struggled to make money. It, too, had millions upon millions of users. Does Threads have a more promising business model than Twitter does?
So let's note that Threads is part of Meta, and Meta owns Facebook. Facebook is and has been the de facto standard in terms of monetizing social media ad revenue. Facebook and Meta have the scale of users, and as long as Threads is able to reach a point in which there is a mass user base on the platform, then Threads will likely monetize through ads. The problem and the struggles that Twitter has had for so long is that when you compare the size of its social network compared to that of other platforms, it is one of the smaller ones.
All right, but I want to look at the EU now, because Threads is not launching here, ostensibly because there are issues with privacy. How is Threads different from the likes of Instagram or Facebook, which can be accessed here?
Threads, because it is an offshoot of Instagram, isn't that different in terms of the data collected, but it is a lot of data that's being collected on individual users. And when we polled users in the UK, US, and Canada about their reluctance to join Threads, privacy and consumer privacy and usage of personal data really popped to the top of the charts. And so what Threads has to contend with are the updated or new rules around data governance and privacy coming out in the EU next year. They are treading very lightly because obviously they don't want to end up in hot water, which is going to delay the launch until they can ensure that they are in compliance.
I want to look at user experience. So back in the early days of Twitter and Facebook as well, content was simply displayed chronologically on the timeline. What do we know about how the Threads algorithm actually works?
So this is the #1 gripe from current Threads users, even though it's only about 24 hours, less than that old, is that it is using the typical AI-generated algorithm to display content. So it is not in chronological order, unlike Twitter, and there's no way at present to be able to display in chronological order. So similar to how Instagram now works, Threads is suggesting posts that it thinks that you're going to like based upon how you engage with the platform. This is something that Meta has always struggled with in terms of being able to capture the real-time conversation. And so if you look at the FIFA World Cup, Women's World Cup that's coming up right now, one of the great things that Twitter has always done is be able to capitalize on those now moments with a chronological feed. That's not happening on Threads yet.
Finally, briefly, Mike, how worried is Elon Musk about this?
You can bet he's concerned. Whether or not this will kill Twitter is doubtful. Twitter has existed for a long time, but what's going to happen is that the user base of Twitter, the makeup, what it's comprised of, will continue to change and shift. You can bet Twitter is going to become a lot more conservative, and Threads is going to be the alternative to Twitter for many, many users.
All right, Mike Proulx from Forrester, thank you very much.
You bet, Kate.